What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, Cam ATL, and welcome back to another Prize Picks video with your boy. Drop a like down below because I already know you're gonna love it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment anything in the comments section to enter your name into that $50 giveaway that I do every week on this channel. Thank y'all for joining me, man. PropsMadeEasy.com. Only $15 a month. Over at my company, greenlightdfs.com. I don't know if y'all know, but Props Made Easy, I'm just a partner in Props Made Easy. Greenlightdfs.com is my company. If you're interested in getting involved in optimal lineups for DraftKings and FanDuel, actually playing lineups on DraftKings and FanDuel, that's what Greenlight DFS does. Greenlight DFS, we specialize in giving you the most optimal version before every sports slate to put you on the right track to be successful in DFS on a consistent basis. NFL, first game of the NFL season yesterday, smashed the Thursday night showdown to start the year. On top of we've already smashed college football. So if you've been kind of on the edge of trying DFS and trying lineups for DraftKings and FanDuel, greenlightdfs.com is the place you need to go to sign up for that. All right, propsmadeeasy.com. Let's get straight into the video. I'm not going to waste too much of y'all's time. Let's go ahead and take a look back into NFL, see what we're looking like, and see who the top plays are after some bumps and stuff as the week's gone on. So, looking at the tool, immediately what you see is Josh Allen at the top of the list. Passing yards, we haven't seen him all week. Josh Allen's passing yards is set at 246.5. Other sportsbooks have him upwards of 257, which is an 11 sportsbook differential. We have him projected at 249, which isn't quite as high as these other sportsbooks, but still has it higher than here, making it plus EV on the over with a 3 projection differential. So Josh Allen's a fantastic option on his over passing yards. Sam Howell has popped in. He's at a 204.5 on Prizepicks, 210.5 other places. That's a 6 sportsbook differential, but he's projected 218.5, which is 14 projection differential, making it a solid plus EV plus projection play. Dak Prescott, we talked about him in the last video. He's the guy who is the discounted guy at 0.5 passing yards. I'm pretty sure that that's a good play. So just go ahead and lock that in. Don't really overthink that. Receiving yards, we have a new guy at the top of the list when it comes to sportsbook differentials. DeAndre Hopkins, receiving yards, is set at 55.5 on PrizePicks, 59.5 other places. It's so weird to see it that low. 59.5 other places, that's a 4 sportsbook differential. He's projected 57 with us. So we're in between both. A 1.6 projection differential. So while it's not a big projection differential, it's still on the same side as the sportsbooks are on, making it plus EV plus projection. By now, most of you understand what that plus EV plus projection model means. It's pretty much putting all players together that the sportsbook line matches with and our top-notch stat projections match with. So it's on both ends. So you're not playing something that's been pushed to one end that maybe isn't analytically the greatest play. You're not following the dumb bettors making a line bigger. You're following only the smart ones who are moving the line justifiably. Wow. Big word. Don't ask me to spell it, but big word. Deshaun Watson, passing yards, is up here. We talked about him yesterday. Justin Fields, I mean, his passing yards was what, 160 something at the early in the week or something like that? And the projection difference was like 20 something. So hopefully you got him in earlier. He's at 182, so he's still a great play on the over. Sportsbook over on the over at 2, projection differential on the over at 1, but it's much tighter than it was. Saquon Barkley looks like the new rushing leader here with a 2 sportsbook differential. Him, Aaron Jones, Derrick Henry, McCaffrey, Akers, all looking like good plays. I'm guessing that the other guy that was popping to us line adjusted. What was the other guy we had? For Pittsburgh. Damn, Najee Harris. There you go. Najee Harris was the top rushing guy for a while, and I'm guessing that his line has adjusted accordingly, and now he's not as good. That's why it's so important, man. Trust me, like this is week 1, so some of y'all might have missed the juice early on in the week, but come week 2 on Tuesday, this coming up Tuesday, make sure you have a Props Made Easy account. Make sure you come into NFL the moment lines drop on PrizePicks. You come to Props Made Easy and you grab the best value early, where there are big discrepancies between the industry. Okay, so as soon as PrizePicks drops, and as soon as we have lines dropped on other competitor sports books to where we can compare and get some plus EV, our projections are going to be immediate. We're ready to go. So So yeah, it's important that you get everything in early, man, with player props. You want to get them in before those bumps happen, especially on those plays that make sense. You know what I mean? Um, all right. Saquon Barkley rushing yards, Aaron Jones rushing yards, receiving yards. We've got Hopkins, Ayuk, and Deontay Johnson as the top options. It's gonna be a fun week one, man. A fun week one. Let's look at college football. So we've got some good plus EV spots on college football, and we're going to talk about a few. Marcus Carroll's rushing yards is at the top of the list. Well, there's four guys right here that have three sportsbook differentials, as you can see. They're all at three. These are the highest options when it comes to overs, okay? And they're all rushing yards, which is crazy. But you have the over on Marcus Carroll's rushing yards of 102.5. You have Jace McClellan, Cartavius Norton. Come on, man. Like, what is this? Like, how do you say that? Bayashul. By I've been so good at saying names, and then they're gonna hit me with this. I just don't know. If anybody knows how to say this name, kind of maybe sound it out for me down in the comment section, because I just don't get it. Like, yeah, I just don't get it. Okay, so over on Tootin, over on Cartavius Norton, over on Jace, over on Marcus Carroll. All rushing yards are at the top of the list when it comes to EV. They're the biggest discrepancies that we have for college football when it comes to EV. All right. College football, we don't have our own personal projections for because some sports you just don't have enough data on some of these guys to be able to project a line. So it's best. The next best thing is to go off EV and take the biggest spreads there, and that's these four guys, the rushing yards. The top passing yards for the over is going to be Jalen Milrow. He's set at 203.5. 205 is other sportsbooks, so that's a solid spot there. There's a -4 under on the sportsbook differential for Sam Hartman for Notre Dame. Passing yards is set at 240.5. Other sportsbooks have him down at 236, so it's a solid value on the under on Prizepicks at -4. Hudson Card is liked for the under for Purdue. Passing yards at 238.5. He's 235.5 other places, so you can grab the under there too. But yeah, so it's all about the rushing yards when it comes to the best value on the overs. And then it's Sam Hartman under on his passing yards of 240.5. Sam Hartman's a beast, but I mean, as you could tell, when you compare lines with other sports books, you could tell that Prizepicks is higher. So it's good to take that under more than take the over. That's just what plus EV is all about. Fiba, we don't have any plus EV there, as you can see. Once you click plus EV, nothing that pops in. Dota, nothing. Baseball. Let's take a look at baseball. Let's look at plus EV plus projection, and let's go from there. I'm going to start it out with Emmett Sheehan for the Dodgers against Washington. Pitcher strikeouts is set at 3.5. Vegas likes the over at -135. He's projected 4.23 from us, a 0.73 projection differential. So both are on the same side. Both are over. Both are plus EV plus projection, so you know they're great plays. So we've got that one. See if anything else has popped in that's amazing. Any unders? Nothing wild. So what I want to do is, it's been a while. So what I want to do is I want to uncheck this, and I want to go with a hitter fantasy score. Let's go over Paul Goldschmidt. Over on Paul Goldschmidt, and yeah, anybody who didn't know this, if you don't check EV plus projection, you can see everything comparative to our projection differentials. So you could just go off projection differentials. And with this is where we have our fantasy score stuff. Okay, where you can compare where the prop line is to where we have him projected, where we have these guys projected fantasy score wise. Okay, so yeah, at the top of the list is Paul Goldschmidt. He's only at a 7.5 prop line. It's a solid St. Louis total. Righty lefty matchup. We know how good Goldschmidt is versus lefties. 7.5 is just stupid to me. I think that he probably gets a home run today, or if he doesn't, he does good enough. He's projected 10.96 from us, 3.46 differential, making him the best over when it comes to hitter fantasy score. All right, so that was over on Emmett Sheehan and over on Paul Goldschmidt's hitter fantasy score. It's been a while since we've done that, so I like that. All right, let's take a look at first inning runs tool. Now, as you can see, the first inning runs tool takes key stats, key information on the pitchers in the teams to let you know the chances of it going over or under. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean there's a 100% chance. There's never a 100% chance. that something's going to happen. But this is giving you an idea of whether it's all green, if there's no red or not. If there's no red and nothing, like no negative to say about any of these spots, then it'll say 100. Just it's pretty much showing you like, yes, when it comes to looking at the key stats for if this is going to go over or under first inning runs, there's no negative here, so it's 100. You feel what I'm saying? The more red we have, the lower the percentage will go. Okay? But anyways, so it's automatically made to show you the best unders. Okay? So the odds are focused on under odds. Okay? The lower the percentage is, the better the over. The more red that you see in a line, the better the over. The more green that you see, the better the under. All right, and let's talk about it. The Marlins and the Phillies, the Athletics and the Rangers, and the Mets and the Twins are at the top of the list. Reason being is all of these guys are either great or decent enough in the first inning to not be in that red category. Okay, they're all been okay in the first inning. As you can see with these odds, we got a couple yellows, and then we've got this green right here with the Mets and the Twins, minus 120 in Vegas on the under hitting. These are minus 115, so they're kind of in the middle. 302 combined ERA for these two. 262 combined ERA for these two, which is really good. 4.41 combined ERA for these two, so it's yellow. So there's a good bit of yellow in this lane. All right, so because there's more yellow in this lane than these other ones, we're going to go ahead and just focus on these two. All right, even though this is 100%, because this has 4 yellow blocks opposed to 2 here and then 3 here, we're going to go with these two. We're going to focus on these two mainly. A 0.95 combined whip from the two pitchers in this Marlins-Phillies game. Both offenses have only scored 67.5 runs out of 139 first innings. Okay? They have a combined 0.745 OPS, which is in the middle. It's not great. It's not bad. But it's not, it's not red, meaning it's not in that level where we got to really worry too much about it. The OPS here is very good. But like I said, there's a lot of yellow. But you can still play it. I don't want you to just, avoid it because I say so. Look at this. 62 runs out of 139. It's just all of these, the stats say are good. The only reason why I said I'm going to focus on these top two is because this just has more yellow than this one does. Like Keuchel and Senga combined have a 4.41 ERA in the first inning, opposed to these guys at 2 and a 3. So a little better in those categories, whereas the Mets and the Twins are better in this category and better in this category. So you can go any of these 3 spots, y'all. All right, everything says so. The best over is going to be the Dodgers and the Nationals. Sheehan's been bad in the first inning. Gore's been solid. Minus 105 odds to go under, which tells us that it's leaning more over. A 5.11 combined ERA, a 1.46 whip. Not too bad, but this is high. Both offenses have done pretty solid in the first inning, so that's dangerous, and that is the highest, one of the highest on the slate. We have this one right here. The Astros and the Padres combined have an 843 OPS. That's the top on the slate when it comes to how well they've scored in the first inning. But these two are the next highest, and this one's the over we're talking about. So I'd go over on Dodgers and Nationals when it comes to the stats and what they're telling me. Csgo, baby. Let's get it. So, when it comes to Csgo, we got Safety at the top again. MIBR, maps 1 and 2 kills at 38, is set at 38 on Prizepicks. He's 40 other places. That's a 2 sportsbook differential. We haven't projected upwards of 44, which is a 6.13 differential. So, I like the over on Safety for sure. Any really solid unders? Nothing really. It's mainly the overs that have the best. And then we're going to go Mango for Masonic. Map 1 and 2 kills is set at 29.5. Other sportsbooks have him at 31.5, which just off the bat makes him solid EV on the over. His 29.5 here. 2 sportsbook differential. He's projected 33 for us, so a couple points higher than where the other sportsbooks are, making it a 3.51 differential. So these are 2 of the best spots here. Over on Mango for Masonic and over on Safety for MIBR. Are the 2 best for CSGO. For League of Legends, the situation with League of Legends, a lot of people are asking about League of Legends if it's going to have stuff up. Here's the problem. League of Legends is EV. So for us to find EV, we need to be able to compare the lines on Prizepicks to other sportsbooks. Other sportsbooks did not really have these guys. You feel what I'm saying? So we can't compare the sportsbooks if they don't have them. We have nothing from these games. It's just one game. From this game, we have nothing, so we weren't able to bring in anything for the League of Legends this time. But anytime that there's comparative lines on other sportsbooks, we'll have it. And most of the time, we've had it, as you guys know. But for this game, for some reason, other sportsbooks just left it alone. Wnba. Did I click on it? By the way, y'all, we've been working behind the scenes. Me and the developer and stuff. I'm somebody who really likes like aesthetic part of things. Like I like the way things look. I like to make things like look cool, and I don't know. I just like the way things look. Okay, so we've been working on the user interface of Props Made Easy. So what's going to happen is all of these tools are going to be combined into one page. So you're not going to have to go through everything like each tool on different pages. You'll be able to just select the sport you want to do, and then those plus EV plays or plus EV plus projection plays will show right there for you. Okay. Um, and so it'll become much easier, and like I said, it'll be all on one page. So that'll be really cool. That will be coming fairly soon. All right, so stay tuned for that. It's gonna look super sick. I love the way it looks. So yeah, stay tuned. All right, as always, early on in the day, we only have one prop type that's available on Prizepicks, and that's points. At the top of the list, we're going to have Jewel Lloyd and Alyssa Thomas for their points. All right. Jewel Lloyd's at 24.5. Alyssa Thomas is at 15.5. Jewel Lloyd's 25.5 other places. Alyssa Thomas is 16.5 other places. That's a one sportsbook differential on both of them. So plus EV on the over. And then our projection for Jewel Lloyd is 26, a 1.7 projection differential. And then Alyssa Thomas is 16.25, a 0.75. So that would mean that because they're the same sportsbook differential here, this play is the better one. So Joel Lloyd would be the better one to go over the points 24.5. Better value, better expected stats out of her. Doesn't mean that's not a good play. Anything that's plus EV plus projection is a great play, but you can side with the higher one if you're comparing. And then if you want to play one of the other ones, I'd probably go Diamond Miller. But all four are fine plays if you want to just stick these in early. But normally, personally, I like to wait until all the prop types drop and then grab my favorite then. All right? Most of the time, WNBA lines don't really move too much. You know what I mean? For tennis, Carlos Alcaraz. Total games is set at 37 on Prizepicks. It's 37.5 other places, so it's a very small sportsbook differential here. If you play tennis, Carlos is probably the only option to get exposure to over 37. He's the only option that makes any sense, but it's very small sportsbook differential still. So it's not like, oh my God, gotta do it. You know, we've seen upwards of 4 sportsbook differentials on tennis before. It's a very tight sportsbook differential. So, but at the end of the day, he is the best option there. UFC, let's take a look. For UFC, over on Shane Young's significant strikes of 48.5. And then the next highest when it comes to overs is Nasrat. Not going to try it. Significant strikes over 72.5. And then the best under, Anton Carlos Olberg. All right, both of those are decent unders. And then soccer, plus EV plus projection. The best under, look at that under. Look at that projection, minus 2.5 less. Gabriel Jesus or Jesus? I'm guessing it's Jesus. I don't know. I'm guessing it's Jesus. Shots is set at 3.5 on Prizepicks. Other sportsbooks have him at 3. That's a minus 0.5 sportsbook differential. So this is plus EV on the under 3.5. As you can see, if it's a negative number, we like the under. If it's a positive number, we like the over. This right here, a minus 2.5 project, we haven't projected for one shot. So grab that under on Gabriel, and then the best over is going to be Marcus Rashford. All right, let's do a recap. So when it comes to NFL, after everything has moved, obviously we come in here and talk about the best player props for NFL all week long and keep you on the top plays available all week long. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So things have changed a lot from early on in the week when we were talking before. A lot of lines have adjusted, but if you were watching early on in the week, you got some great value entered in. But as of right now, what we have available is the biggest plus EV spot on the over is going to be Josh Allen's passing yards. Over 246.5 is going to be your best shot at the over when it comes to plus EV. Projection differential is only 3, but remember, as long as they're on the same side, they're fantastic plays. So either you can go off the big sportsbook differential of 11 and be like, yeah, I want Josh Allen. Or you could go off the projection differential. You got Sam Howell at the top. 14 projection differential and a 6 sportsbook differential. So you can sort by projection differential and see where our projections are and go with that as your number one, or you can go with sportsbooks. It's just whatever you want to do. No matter what, though, when you select this button plus EV plus projection, the only ones that will show are the ones that are plus EV plus projection and match on both ends. If you want to see all plays, uncheck it and you'll see everything. At the top, Tua, passing yards is set at 254.5. He's 254.5 other places, so that means we can't make him green as a plus EV play because he's even on both. But our projection's 271, baby, so don't sleep on Tua. That's a big projection difference. So I'm not saying don't utilize our projections because our projections are going to be ridiculous. So utilize that if you want to as well and take advantage. Make sure there's no crazy projection differentials on spots that maybe sportsbooks haven't matched up with yet. You know what I mean? Our projections could be ahead of where they have their lines. They could adjust eventually. I wouldn't be surprised if Tua's went up. That makes no sense in a great matchup this week. So yeah. We had what was it? The best receiving yards, DeAndre Hopkins, Brandon Ayuk, Deontay Johnson. Best rushing yards, Aaron Jones. Passing yards, Josh Allen, Sam Howell, Dak Prescott, you need to have it no matter what is 0.5 passing yards. All right, college football. College football rushing yards was just dominating. Oh, something new came in. So, see how quick that is? The moment they add it on Prizepicks, we have it. Sawyer Robertson for Baylor. Passing yards is set at 194.5. Other sportsbooks have him at 199.5. That's a 5 sportsbook differential. So he is the new best over that you could go with on passing yards. Sawyer Robertson. You still have Tootin. You still have Chartavius Norton and these guys for their rushing yards. But the new favorite's going to be Sawyer Robertson. I'm telling you, do like I do, y'all. I personally, yes, I'm a partner in Props Made Easy, and I work with them to make this the best site we possibly can for people. But I also come from a fan standpoint as well. I love this site. I keep it up. I'm not even going to lie to you. At any time throughout the day, somebody randomly grabs my phone and opens my internet browser, you're going to see Props Made Easy as the only thing open. Okay, I keep it open. As you guys know, the best way to view the tool, whether you're on your iPhone or your Samsung, is to look at it in desktop mode. So you see the whole thing on the page. If you look at it mobile view, you're going to have to scroll over to see sort and all that different stuff. That's why it's important to go to desktop mode because that's the best way. So I keep my browser on desktop mode on Props Made Easy, and I continuously refresh stuff to make sure I just have the best value entered at all times. And I definitely suggest you do the same thing. Maybe bookmark the site or something just so you can easily be randomly through the day, you get a bathroom break at work or something. You know what I mean? Go to the bathroom real quick, open it up, boom, 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 check these sports, get the best value entered, and then move on. Because by the time you're done with your work that day, those lines might be adjusted. You might never have saw them. You know what I mean? So it's very important. These lines on Props Made Easy adjust within a minute. We're on point with it. You know what I mean? We are on point with the lines. So keep updated. College football, yeah, we just talked about that. Fiba, I don't think there was any Fiba. No Fiba. No Dota right now. MLB. We have the over on Paul Goldschmidt for his fantasy score. If you want to see fantasy scores, you just click on the fantasy score tab right here. We haven't done a hitter fantasy score in a while, so I want to run one real quick. Don't sleep on these, by the way. Just because I don't talk about them a lot, I mean, they're fantasy scores. That's why I don't really want people going crazy on them, but fantasy scores still here, so don't forget. You can still take advantage of huge discrepancies where our projections, we got top of the line projections. So take advantage of the accuracy of our projections and kind of take advantage where there's big discrepancies between where lines are and where the projections are. At the top of the list, Paul Goldschmidt facing a lefty, high St. Louis total. I mean, 7.5 should be a breeze. So like that spot. And then when you click plus EV plus projection, you've got Emmett Sheehan at the top of the list for me at pitcher strikeouts over. Pitcher strikeouts for Emmett Sheehan for the Dodgers. Another solid option that has popped in is at minus 140. That might bump soon. Is over on Jamison Taillon. Minus 140 on the over, as you can see right here. And then we have him projected 17. So over, plus EV, plus projection. This is a high sportsbook leaning that way. So you want to get that before that bumps. All right? And that's about it. All right, first inning runs. When it comes to first inning runs tool, Marlins, Phillies, Athletics, Rangers, Mets, Twins as the best unders, and then the best over is down here, Dodgers and Nationals. For CSGO, we have both of these, Safety and Mango, on their overmap 1 and 2 kills. League of Legends, we didn't have any. WNBA for points, we have Jewel Lloyd, Alyssa Thomas, Diamond Miller, and Doan. If I had to pick two of these as my favorite, it would be Jewel Lloyd's over points and Diamond Miller over points. Both of them are fantastic, though. Or Alyssa Thomas and Jewel Lloyd and just go the higher of these. You know what I mean? You can do whatever. For tennis, over on Carlos Alcaraz, the best. Am I Alcaraz? Why am I just. It's like I have to put a T in his name. I don't understand. UFC, we have the over on Shane Young as the best over spot that you could go with for UFC. And then for soccer, plus EV plus projection, the best option is going to be the under on Gabriel. Shots under 3.5 on Prizepicks, and then Marcus Rashford over. All right? Thank you guys for joining me as always. PropsMadeEasy.com. If you haven't joined already, as you guys know, we had the $5 off coupon that ran yesterday. Over 50 of you took advantage of it, so shout out to y'all. Good job getting locked in on something that's already the cheapest in the industry, and you were able to get even cheaper. Pretty crazy. So yeah, but now that the coupon code's over, you got to pay a whole 15. So it sucks that you miss it, but it's still cheap. Still cheap. $15. Pretty wild how cheap that is. Now, just an update for anybody who's made it to the end of this video. I've been going for 30 minutes per damn near. Just an update on what's coming, just to keep y'all updated on what we got going on. Our simulation program that simulates games down to the stat level 10,000 times to give you a simulation type of projection based off of our simulation program will also be added to Props Made Easy eventually. I don't have an exact ETA on it, but I know that it will be coming, and it will be a game changer. It will be sick. It'll be amazing. So it'll probably be an add-on. I mean, the site's only $15 a month. You know what I mean? To be able to have these things, Props Made Easy people have to spend a lot of money and a lot of time and a lot of resources to get that stuff. So if you want that to be added on, you'll be able to add that on later once that drops, but I doubt it'll be included in the base 15 for all the sports. But that's because, like I said, there's a lot of resources, a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of all that goes into it, so you can't just, not add on to that. You know what I mean? So thank you guys for joining me as always, though, man. Y'all have a fantastic weekend, and as always, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.